Hi, I'm Bob. Welcome to the Economics in Real Life series. Today, we will discuss another famous case in game theory, the game of chicken. The term chicken here refers to a coward or someone who lacks courage. We will relate the Nash equilibrium of the game of chicken to national defense strategies. You must have heard of this question before. If a small country faces the threat of invasion from a large country nearby and cannot avoid being defeated, no matter how much it increases its military defense, should it give up resistance, or should it try to arm itself and improve its defense capabilities? Which strategy can avoid being invaded? The game of chicken gives us an idea to better understand and answer this question. The story of the game of chicken goes like this. Two drivers are driving towards each other on a straight road. If they collide head-on with each other, both cars will be destroyed and both drivers will die. If one driver swerves, the other driver can go through the straight road. The driver who swerves is called a coward. The two drivers can choose either to go straight or swerve. We can write the payoffs of the two drivers in various situations in the table, like this one. In the cells of the table, the number on the left represents the payoff of driver 1, and the number on the right represents the payoff of driver 2. If both drivers swerve, there will be no collision, and each driver earns 3. If driver 1 takes a short turn while driver 2 continues straight, driver 1 will be mocked as a coward and his payoff will be 1. Driver 2, in contrast, will achieve victory, earning 5. Conversely, if driver 2 swerves while driver 1 goes straight, their payoffs will reverse. Finally, if both drivers continue straight without turning, their cars will be destroyed, resulting in 0 payoff for each of them. We used the method in previous episodes to consider the decisions of the two drivers. First, let's think about how driver 1 will decide. He faces two possibilities. The first possibility is that driver 2 swerves. If the opponent swerves, driver 1's optimal choice is to go straight, earning a payoff of 5. It is better than if he also swerves and makes 3. We will underline the number 5. The second possibility is that driver 2 continues straight. If the opponent keeps going straight, driver 1's best option is to swerve, although he will be mocked as a coward and earn only 1. It is better than continuing straight and ending up with 0 payoff due to a car crash. We will underline the number 1. So, driver 1's optimal strategy is, if the opponent swerves, I will continue straight. If the opponent keeps going straight, I will swerve. Next, we consider driver 2's choices. He also faces two possibilities. If driver 1 takes a short turn, driver 2's optimal choice is to continue straight, earning a payoff of 5 instead of 3. If driver 1 continues straight, driver 2 will choose to swerve. Although this results in driver 2 being mocked as a coward and earning only one, it is still better than a collision between the two cars. Therefore, driver 2's best strategy is the same as driver 1's. When the opponent takes a short turn, I will continue straight. When the opponent keeps going straight, I will swerve. We underline the numbers 5 and 1 again. We observe two cells with underlined numbers. They represent two Nash equilibria of the game. The two equilibrium outcomes are driver 1 swerves, driver 2 continues straight, and driver 1 continues straight, driver 2 swerves. Both of these outcomes could happen. We can relate the game of chicken to real-life scenarios. For example, consider two countries. One is a large country with a powerful military that wants to invade a small neighboring country. The large country has two options: to invade or not to invade. The small neighboring country has weaker military capabilities, and it also has two options: to increase its defense capabilities or not to increase them. Let's assume that no matter how much the small country increases its military defense capabilities, it will ultimately not be able to resist the large country's invasion. Should the small country give up defense, how can it choose to avoid being invaded? We can imagine the two countries as the two drivers in the game of chicken. Suppose the large country chooses to invade, and the small country chooses to increase its military defense. In this case, it's like the two drivers going straight without swerving, and the small country is eventually invaded, but the large country also suffers heavy losses. The payoffs for both countries are zero. If the large country does not invade, and the neighboring small country does not increase its military defense, then everything is peaceful, and the payoffs for both are 3. If the large country is determined to invade and the neighboring small country does not resist, then the invader succeeds with a payoff of 5, and the invaded small country has a payoff of 1. Due to smaller casualties caused by resistance, the payoff is slightly better than being invaded after resistance. Conversely, if the small country increases its defense capabilities and the large country does not invade, the large country loses face and prestige with a payoff of 1. By contrast, the small country establishes the determination and image of resisting a strong enemy with a payoff of 5. Thus, we get the same table as the game of chicken. As a result, the Nash equilibria are the same. That is to say, there were two equilibrium results. One is that the large country invades and the small country does not defend. And the other is that the small country increases its defense capabilities and the large country does not invade. Both of these two outcomes could possibly happen. Which one will actually occur depends on many factors. The most important one is who takes action first. The player in the game who acts first has the first mover advantage. If the large country invades first, the small country's best response is not to defense. However, if the small country takes action first, continuously strengthens its defense capabilities, and demonstrates the determination and will to resist aggression. The large country's best option is not to invade. Therefore, the optimal strategy for the small country to avoid war is to increase its military defense capabilities, forcing the other side not to invade. Moreover, it should indicate its willingness and determination to defend before the large country invades. Now, our analysis involves the order in which the players of the game take action, which belongs to the field of dynamic games. We can use another form of expression in game theory to describe the dynamic games, which is called the game tree form. The form of the game expressed in the table above is called the matrix form. The matrix form is the main method for describing static games, while the game tree form is the primary method for describing dynamic games with sequential moves where players take turns. Next, we use the game tree to explain the process and equilibrium of the game where the small country moves first. If the small country takes action first, it has two options: to increase its military defense capabilities or not to do so. Then the large country takes action. It also has two options: to invade or not to invade. We write the two countries' payoffs at the end of the game tree. The number on the left in parentheses is the payoff for the large country, and the number on the right is the payoff for the small country. To find the equilibrium of this game, we use the backward induction method, that is, reasoning from the end of the game. The large country moves last, and it will choose the action that gives it maximum benefits. When it sees that the small country is increasing its defense capabilities, it will choose not to invade because its payoff is 1, not the mutually destructive 0. When it sees that the small country is not increasing its defense capabilities, it will choose to invade because it will produce the maximum payoff of 5. We draw lines under the number 1 and 5 and draw arrows to indicate the paths of the game. We delete the other paths that are not selected to simplify the game process. Now, we consider how the small country chooses. The small country moves first, and like us, it knows through backward induction that the large country's strategy is not to invade when it strengthens its defense, but to invade when it gives up defense. Therefore, the small country will choose to increase its defense capabilities because it will get a payoff of 5 instead of 1 by giving up defense. We underline the number 5 and make an arrow to indicate the path of the game. Thus, after deleting the game path that's not selected, there's only one equilibrium path of the game. The small country increases its defense capabilities, and the large country not to invade. This is the Nash equilibrium of the dynamic game where the small country moves first and the large country moves last. Conversely, if the large country moves first, the Nash equilibrium of the game becomes that the large country invades and the small country does not defend. In order to gain the first mover advantage, both players of the game will make some commitments to show that they will definitely make the action, or make the other side believe that they will do so. There's a question of whether such a commitment is credible. The small country can make its commitment to fight against invasion credible by purchasing a large amount of defense military equipment. On the other hand, the large country will also create public opinion to show its determination to invade. Now, we can answer the question mentioned earlier. We have assumed in our model that even if the defense capabilities are increased, the small country could not resist the invasion of the large country. However, the game of chicken clearly illustrates that the optimal strategy for the small country is still to strengthen its defense capabilities rather than give up resistance. Only in this way can the war be avoided. If the small country chooses not to increase its defense capabilities, the possibility of being invaded will increase. Thank you so much for watching the video in Economics in Real Life series. See you in the next episode. Take care. Thank you for watching this video and subscribing to my YouTube channel. See you next time.